This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend Al, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Drew and Aaron Reese, spelled R-U-I-Z, of Shelter Insurance. Give them a call today, 405-478-7714, or call Aaron, 405-773-5500 today. You want to just make sure that you are protected from, accidents happen. Happens to your car, happens to your home. Things you don't want to happen can happen with some of your prized possessions. Maybe even you have a rental home or a boat. You want to keep those things insured, and with good people too. Whenever you call your insurance company, you want to talk to somebody that's awesome and also like the Thunder, which is true of both Aaron and Drew Reese. So give them a call today and support the people that support Down to Dunk with me on a Wednesday afternoon. It's my good friend Alex Speers. Alex, what's up?
What's up, Andrew? Cup day.
Cup day. We got a
cup day, folks.
We got ourselves a cup day. The Thunder play the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Already in what I'm wearing to the game already. I'm going to leave here pretty much after we do the pod to go to the game.
Cool.
Minnesota is on a 2-game losing streak heading into this matchup with the Thunder, who continue to destroy teams. Now, the Thunder do have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander listed as questionable with an illness. That is still the report as of right now, 2:47 Central Standard Time. So we'll have to see if Shea plays, but good news. One of the Williamses is back. Kenrich Williams is off the court and could make his debut against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. So that's exciting. And it is a cup night. This is on ESPN, 6:30 tip Central Time. Thoughts on the Minnesota matchup, Al?
Yeah, I mean, if the game goes the way these teams have been playing this season, this should be a 20-point win because Minnesota's been terrible. I know that they're 10-7. They have not beaten a soul in this league. They've not beaten a soul. They've lost to every good team they've played. They've now started losing to bad teams too. Lost to the Kings, 117 to 112 in overtime. And so, if you just look at it as how they've played so far this season, this should be like Lakers Warriors redux. That is what this should be.
Okay.
Now, the Wolves, I assume, are going to be pretty up for this game. And so maybe we see a different version of the Wolves than we have seen so far this season, and maybe this ends up being competitive at some point. But it's hard for me to be worried right now based on what I've seen.
Yeah. They lost in embarrassing fashion to Phoenix. And then you have, I call them NBA pride games, where it's you lose one like that. It's all right, do you have pride? And then they turn around and lose to Sacramento. And so now it's do you really have pride? It's like kind of how I feel going into this one, because it's like, man, they played so bad against the Kings, and so now it's like, can you turn it around? There's obviously good players on this Minnesota team, but they're a little thinner than they were last year, and a little bit older, with guys like, obviously, Mike Conley's not even starting anymore. You have Rudy Gobert, who's a year older. He's had a kind of a rough start to the season, and he hasn't been like amazing or anything, but he's been better. So yeah, I like on paper, yeah, this should be, the Thunder should destroy them. But there are like factors in here that I just wonder, like, how did the Wolves show up? You know, they got embarrassed in the playoffs last year by this Thunder team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really curious to see like how Ant shows up in this one, and like how these guys play, because also Randall, who was a monster in the playoffs until they played OKC, and then like Caruso and even Kaysen and guys like that were able to guard him and really disrupt him. And so I just am curious to see like what kind of fight this Timberwolves team shows tonight on ESPN.
And they have no one on their injury report?
They have no one on the injury report. That's correct. Yeah, they just have Enrique Freeman, who is available. I guess he broke his face. It just says Enrique Freeman available, face, and face mask.
Because I think Jalen Clark was out for a little while. So
yeah,
he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my memory of that playoff series, sorry, I have to plug in my computer, is how good Nickeil Alexander-Walker was.
Yeah.
And he is no longer on this team. I really felt through large stretches of that series, there were only like 3 Wolves that I was confident in night to night. And it was actually, I say 3, like you can't even say that for Ant, because Ant had several bad games in that series.
He did.
But like Jaden McDaniels, I think overall had a fine series.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nah had overall a good series. Naz Reid had a bad series. Julius had a bad series. I know his stats look okay, but I thought he had a bad series.
Yeah.
Ant had a bad series for him, for how good he is. So yeah, I just don't. I used to be so scared of this team, and now I'm feeling too confident.
Yeah, you are too confident.
I'm too confident.
This was like the team. I felt like when we were talking about like March and April.
Yeah.
That you were like, I don't know about this Wolves team, and they have made 2 consecutive conference finals, and
I just feel they've lost a lot of their luster. The fact that the Nuggets have beaten them twice this season. I know one of those games Ant didn't play, but like that was always their calling card. Like, we have this magic over the Nuggets, and we are just the worst matchup in the world for them. That doesn't feel as true anymore. After that 5-game series against OKC, where, you know, outside of game 4, it was just OKC was so dominant in that series. So I'm interested. It's different than some of the games we've been asked to watch lately. You know, at least the Wolves should be in the playoffs.
Hey, will you watch this? Is somebody asking you?
Yeah. Will you please watch
this? Actually, I really did enjoy Thunder Jazz. Like, that was actually a fun game, because the Jazz were awesome first, and then the Thunder had that crazy third quarter. Yeah, the Blazers, somebody had to ask us to watch that one.
And that's a bummer, just because they have so many guys out right now.
Yeah,
it's funny. I was listening to both Simmons with Goldsberry, but also Lowe with Stan Van Gundy. And they were talking about how, I mean, they kept referencing the Pacers, even though I really think it was the Thunder that influenced a lot of this. Yeah. I'll give the Pacers credit for the idea of like picking up full court, because that was something that like the Pacers did in that series.
They did it. The Thunder have done that a lot too. Like, you look at, just watch Kaysen Wallace. Go back and like just watch Kaysen Wallace all season.
Yeah,
like, the guy picks up full court all the time.
But the idea of like fouling a lot and just not being as worried about fouling. And Stan Van Gundy was talking to Kenny Atkinson, and him just feeling like, man, why didn't I think of that? Like, because I guess previously they had been teaching the Cavs players like playing with your hands down, not fouling. And meanwhile, there's this scoring boom in the NBA, which has been being almost solely driven by increase in free throws. And those free throws are just because a lot more fouls are being called. And a big part of that is because teams are trying to play like OKC did for all of last season, which is they just don't really care if they get fouls or not. But the thing that like they just didn't bring up enough is how hard it is to play this way over an entire season. The Pacers couldn't even do it for a 7-game series. At some point in that series, Carlisle had to be like, we have to back off this pressure because Nembhard is dead at the end of these games.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it was in game 6, they just backed off completely and weren't pressing full court. And so the reason I bring this up is because you mentioned Portland. And like Portland at the start of the season was this team who was going to play this super high charge defense. They're going to be all over you. They're going to pressure you the entire length of the court. And that works until you have like literally 2 injuries. And then all of a sudden, Portland's defense is like falling off a cliff. And part of that is because like key guys are out, like Drew Holiday not playing is a big reason. But even losing someone like Blake Wesley, which I know sounds crazy, but like when he came in to the Wolves game, the first game of the season, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's insane. Like he was their full court guy, and then he got hurt, and their defense is just falling off a cliff. And so I'm just interested to see how this plays out because I understand the interest from other teams of wanting to play this way. It is really hard to play this way unless you have actual depth. And there are so few teams with actual depth in this league.
Yeah. I was going to say it's just like so much more of a personnel driven decision than it is just like a decision that we're going to make to do this. It's kind of like the zone. You have to have like the right personnel to play. Like, because we saw the Timberwolves try to play zone against the Thunder and it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the same guys that Denver does. And when you try to defend like OKC does without the defenders, you're going to be exhausted and also not very effective. There's just not very many teams that has this personnel that OKC does where they can get these guys to play like that. It's funny. But yeah, the fouls are way up, offense is way up. That is interesting. That is intriguing.
I understand like a lot of people want to blame the refs, and there have been some kind of just bad meta approaches, I feel like, this season to some of these foul calls. But I really do think a lot of it is people watching those finals because everyone says it's a copycat league, and just realizing like, is it really that big of a deal if we like pick up a few extra fouls, if we can be way more aggressive and dare the refs to call every single one? Like I do think it's a good idea, but I just am not convinced that every team in the league can do this. I think there's probably like 3 or 4 teams that can really do this in a way that matters, that really like vaults their defense.
Yeah, there's just a handful. And even with Portland, like Shea was completely unbothered by Kamara the other night.
Yeah.
Just like completely unbothered. One of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA. Didn't matter. Didn't really care that he was on him. He was still going to take care of business in 3 quarters. And really, I mean, they didn't really have to play him in the third. Let's be real, but they did anyways. Yeah, Shea so far this season, this is like the funniest stat, is he has 580 points through 595 minutes, which is just crazy, which is not like far off from where he was last year. He had 2,400 points in like 2,500 minutes. I mean, he's just a machine. Like he's just no one is going to really bother him. I mean, he's shooting 54% from the field. He's 54, 41, 89.8 right now. Like he's so close to 50, 40, 90. And he's like closer to 55, 40, 41, 90. Like it's insane the efficiency and how unbothered he is by almost everybody. And I feel like some of it is like he's just so much more dangerous with the pass than he has been. And I think like that is just like aiding in him being able to really get to whatever spot he wants and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and I personally don't want to talk about MVP because it is November and I don't care. But
almost December.
But it's almost December, so I am going to talk about it. No, I like the argument that like what is more valuable than winning a game in 3 quarters? Because it's true. Like we talked about it last year, kind of like the hidden value of Shea, which I mean isn't hidden to Thunder fans, but people will say, okay, yes, he's a fine defender, but he's on this amazing defensive team. But the point they miss is that, but when your fifth player on the court is a good defender, and when the fifth player on the court is the MVP of the league, like MVP caliber player, that is so insanely valuable.
Yeah.
Like it is so valuable that he's not even like an average defender. Like on a lot of plays, he can be an above average defender. And this year, it's like, what is more valuable than just only having to play 75% of the games? Beating teams so bad that you don't even have to play. I mean, it affects so many things downstream. Like you go across, and part of this is just their depth, but you go across minutes played for Thunder players and look at the minutes that like the Sixers are having to put on their players right now. Like Maxey, I'm sure is like up around 40 minutes per game. And the Thunder just don't even have to think like that. You know, they have so much depth, and then they have this star player who is just destroying teams in three quarters, and then you don't even have to play him. I mean, it's incredible. They have one player averaging more than 30 minutes per game right now, and it's Shea. One player. That has to be the only team in the league that you can say that about.
And Shea is averaging the least amount of minutes since his rookie season right now.
Yeah.
And they're 17-1. And J-Dub hasn't played a game yet. I mean, if I told you, hey, the Thunder are going to be without J-Dub, Shea's going to play the least amount of minutes that he has since, you know, like you like build it up and it's like, okay, what do you think their record is? It's like, I don't know. Like they're like, sounds like they're trying to preserve Shea in some way. Like this is not necessarily the way that you would have thought like it would have carried out. But like the truth is this team is that good and no one is surprised. Like you ask people inside that locker room. I was asking people inside the locker room the other day, like you're 17-1, you're missing guys. Is it surprising to you? I was asking Alex Caruso this question, and he was just like, he's like, from the outside looking in, I could see why people would be a little surprised. He's like, but we're not.
Yeah.
Like, confidence level is super high on what they're doing. And this was like after they had just demolished the Blazers. But yeah, 17-1, man, is pretty crazy, you know, and they heading into tonight, you know, it's exciting to see like a good, at least, well, you can't lay out why they're a bad team, but at least a team that we think is good. It's exciting to like go watch a team that we think is good.
Well, no, it's funny listening to people talk about their schedule, and I'm like, they're kind of just discounting the Lakers. And meanwhile, like the Lakers are 13-4. Like that was a really good win. It's just that they're so far apart that it doesn't even feel like this amazing win. It really feels like at this point, you either have to beat Denver or Houston again. Maybe like, let's say Houston on the road, Denver anywhere, or maybe Detroit. You like
Denver, Houston. I mean, the Pistons, the Raptors, are like those are the teams that we're talking about that you'd have to beat. There's just not that many impressive wins for the Thunder to get.
Yeah. I know it's tough. And meanwhile, like that Lakers win was impressive. The Lakers are 13-4. They're a good team.
Yeah.
They're just not in the same realm.
Not even close.
And meanwhile, yes, it's been a cake schedule, but when the Thunder have gotten the opportunity, they've beaten the good teams that they've played.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Wolves haven't. They haven't done it once. Maybe they'll do it tonight and it'll ruin my Thanksgiving. Maybe.
Yeah, could be. I'm excited to respect the Cup tonight and watch the Thunder play on the Cup court. I was asking guys like what they think about the Cup courts because I mean I think a lot of fans are like, oh, either you like love them or you hate them, kind of thing. Every player asks about the Cup courts, they're like, it's cool. Like I like it. I like playing on the Cup courts.
Can I ask you something about the court?
Yeah.
Because I think they posted a picture of it today.
Yeah, there's pictures of it.
Why is the college 3-point line on it? Because don't they only use it twice, or they use it for other things?
They'll use it. I don't know.
Because I looked at their one from last year and it's not there.
Yeah, I have no idea why. That's funny. I have no idea.
I just hope the guys don't get confused.
I asked them about that. About not specifically about the line, but I asked them about like some people have said like the lines on the court are confusing because the colors all run together and everything.
Yeah.
the the exact answer I got was that's cap. Like no one actually thinks that when you're playing. Like no one actually gets confused when they're playing on the courts. Like it's
That's good.
everybody thinks they're cool.
Luca did say they were slippery last night.
Yeah, I mean that could be that specific court, but they're like the NBA is not going to put a court out there where you don't recognize the lines. Like that's crazy. But they all like it. I mean, Hartenstein was talking about how they play these kinds of tournaments in Europe all the time, and he's like, he said it's clearly not like as big of a deal in the NBA as it is in Europe, but everyone I talked to, and I don't know if I should have been surprised by this or not, but they all really want to win it. Like this is a game that they want to win tonight. They want to win the cup. And, like last year they got demolished in the cup finals, but kind of the tenor around like the way they feel about that is that they really feel like they were still figuring out who they were, during that part of the season, which makes sense. It's early on in the season, but I think like they clearly have this like more established identity at this point after going through a full season, winning the whole thing together. And, I do think that there's a motivation to go and win the cup, and there's a healthy respect of the cup from the Thunder players, and so
they will clinch a trip to Vegas if they win tonight.
Yeah, well, to the knockout round, right?
To the knockout round.
Yeah,
is that different from Vegas?
I think it is. I think it is.
Seems like we're not respecting the cup.
We're not respecting the cup enough. I'm like I've been running around like crazy today. I had the cup stuff in front of me earlier, but now it's gone. Yeah, they'll clinch their group tonight if they can win, mostly because of the Phoenix Suns game. Which was just crazy. And their point differential, like I think that they would probably get, even if they lost a close game, like their point differential is still pretty high. They could be the wild card team. I believe the knockout round starts in market, and then the final four go to Vegas.
Okay.
So I'd be a little bit surprised if they did not go to Vegas. Which is awesome because I'll be there, and possibly the L-Man will be there as well.
Whoa.
Very cool.
Breaking news.
To go. We're already trying to make Momofuku plans to go eat.
Oh, there. Nice. Yeah. I only ate at Denny's while I was there. I could not.
Yeah, well, I forgot.
I ate at Denny's like 4 times.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so the knockout rounds, the quarterfinals are December 9th and 10th.
Okay.
And those are played in market. And then the final four is December 13th in Vegas. And it's like a 2:30 tip for the first game, which is usually the East will play.
Now those should be those are probably going to be some of the best games that we've gotten this season, because I remember last year we had the Mavs game as part of the cup. That was great. And then we had the Houston game.
Yep.
Those are both really big, like good matchups, just fun playoff style basketball.
Yeah. It should be a lot of fun. So yeah, Tuesday the 9th, which like if you look at the NBA schedule, that whole time is blocked off. And so the 9th and 10th will be used. And then they play regular games like on the 11th and 12th for the teams that don't make it to the knockout rounds. And then 13th is when they play in Vegas. So yeah, so they can't book any trips to Vegas yet, but you can get pretty close.
Before, do you have anything else to say about the cup?
Well, I don't. I'm excited for it. That's all.
Okay. Before we go on to our next segment or an ad break, I do have a rant of the week.
Oh, you do?
I've never done one, but this is Al Baby Cake's official rant of the week.
We might save our segment for next time.
Why? What else are we going to talk about?
I just have got to go.
Oh, you got to go?
Yeah, I've got to leave soon.
Why? To the game?
Yeah.
It's 1:08 out here.
I know. I'm just telling you. I've got to go soon.
Wait, what time does the game start?
6:30.
6:30, so 4:30. Are you walking there? Why do you have to leave so early?
I can tell you later.
Okay.
I can tell you later. But I've got like 11 minutes.
Okay,
All
well that maybe will be enough time for my rant of the week.
Okay, well let's take a quick break and we'll come back. We'll do Alex's rant of the week. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Bob Moore Kia. Look at this beautiful Kia Carnival. You too could drive a beautiful Kia Carnival like this. If you go over to Bob Moore Kia, they're on Northwest Expressway in between Council and Rockwell. Right now, you can go over to Bob Moore Kia. You can get an EV6, a 2025 EV6 GT for $395 a month for 24 months on 10K miles per year. That's $3,995 down, and you can drive an EV6. You can also get a Telluride, awesome vehicle, for $3,995 due at signing and $295 a month. Great vehicle. You can also get a K4. Man, I'd love to drive a K4. 10K miles, $295 due, or $295 a month, $1,995 due at signing for $10K per year lease. So go check those out. Bob Moore Kia is amazing, a great sponsor of Down to Dunk, and please go support them. Just go show up, test drive a car, tell them that Down to Dunk sent you. We'd appreciate that.
Show up any time of day,
and support the people that support Down to Dunk. All right, now it's time for Al's rant of the week.
All right, this is going to seem out of left field. It was just something I've been thinking about lately for some reason. Okay, so the creators of BPM, they were so embarrassed that Russell Westbrook's 2017 MVP season, quote unquote, broke their stat, was like clearly the best season of all time. They didn't want that. They didn't want their stat to be associated with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that they went back in and changed the formula. Okay, they changed the formula so that Russ's 2017 MVP season would no longer be the best year of BPM that we had ever seen.
Wow.
When you go look historically, right? We all know that story.
Yeah.
So then why are they not embarrassed that their stat not only thinks that Nikola Jokic is a great defender, but is the greatest defender in the NBA? Why are they not embarrassed by that fact? If you look at among active players every season that they've played, by defensive BPM, Nikola Jokic, let's include this season because it's going to be the highest ever, has 4 of the top 6 defensive seasons. Okay? He's the greatest defender of his generation, according to this stat. And for some reason, the creators of this stat aren't embarrassed enough by this to change their formula, but we're embarrassed by Westbrook's MVP season. What gives? And it's not just defensive BPM, because BPM, the big stat that you will see and everyone will say, oh my gosh, Jokic is breaking BPM. It's just offensive and defensive BPM added together. Offensive BPM, fine. It's a fine stat. Jokic is great in that. Of course he is. He's greatest offensive player. Of course he would be good at that. But BPM that everyone usually cites is just those two numbers added together, which includes defensive BPM, which, as a reminder, one of the factors included in defensive BPM is offensive assists, which is why Jokic's defensive BPM is so high, because you get more value from an assist as a center than a point guard. You also get more value from a block from a point guard than from a center. So you can have these situations where you have, I mean, honestly, this probably helps Shea.
I was going to say,
because he's getting blocks out of position, not nearly at the rate at like Jokic is getting assists. But where's the shame? Where's the shame? Where's the shame? Why were you so shamed by Westbrook's MVP season that you went back to the lab, redid your entire formula? But the fact that Jokic has 4 of the top 6 defensive seasons among all active players, 4 times more than Draymond Green, why does that not bother you at all? Why not go back in the lab and maybe tweak a few things to see if you can get maybe a couple more Draymond seasons up at the top, or a Rudy Gobert season, so it at least like looks okay. Anyways, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not a great stat. but people use it because it's free to use and it's on.
Yeah.
However, EPM is free to use too, and I feel like EPM usually makes a lot more sense when you look at their. I'll just look at it right now. The actual.
Yeah.
Always make sure you look at actual.
Don't use projected. Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay. Well, Isaiah Hartenstein, number 1 defender in the league. I mean, it's going to be OKC players right now.
Yeah.
AJ Mitchell, number 2. Okay. So maybe that'll even out. He's probably not the second best defender in the league. Kata from Boston. Now that one's really interesting because if you look at all the advanced stats on Boston right now, Kata has like absurd advanced stats. And he's probably like a good player, but a lot of it is because Luka Garza minutes are just an abomination right now.
Yeah,
it's really helping out Kata. Cason Wallace, number 4. Wow, I love this stat. Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo, Jalen Suggs, Victor Wembanyama, Derek White, Chet. Like obviously OKC's being, because OKC has an historically great defense, they're going to have a lot of guys at the top. But those other names I mentioned, those are
great defenders too.
That's true.
They would all be, if you just spread them out, they would be the best defenders on whatever team they were on.
I mean, except AJ.
Except for AJ. AJ is the weird one, and he's up there because of the deflections and the steals and stuff. That's why he's there.
And you keep going. Ron Holland, Steph Castle, Draymond Green, Alex Caruso. Like, I like EPM. I feel like it makes sense when I look at it. And right now, this is so funny because when EPM came out like a week and a half ago, there were a ton of Reddit posts about, oh my gosh, Jokic has the highest EPM ever. He's better than he was even last season. And at this time, Shea was behind him. Now Shea is ahead of him. Now Shea is at 10.7 and Jokic is at 10.2. That is such a crazy number if you've followed EPM over the last couple seasons. Like the fact that both of those guys are in double digits just does not happen.
Both have been really good, but Shea has been, in my opinion, the best player in the NBA this year. And
I know, and I heard you say it's not close, which it is close. I understand you're a homer. We're homers. We like to say that. It is close. But when Stan Van Gundy said it's Jokic and it's not close, no, Stan Van Gundy, it's at least close.
It's at least close. I just think that if you just compare like the minutes that Shea has played the whole season compared to the minutes that Jokic plays, Jokic takes possessions off. Like it's okay to admit that.
Yeah.
Like he does. He takes games off on defense, which is why it's absurd that he would be ranked as the best defender in the NBA. Like he takes full games off. Like go watch the New Orleans game. Go watch it. He did not give effort that night. And that's okay. I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying like we can't act like he's a perfect basketball player when he's doing that.
Well, Andrew, currently he has the second best defensive BPM in the history of the NBA. So
it is absurd. It should be embarrassing, like you said. It should be embarrassing. I just hate that like we act like Jokic is like the perfect player and like nothing is wrong with him or his game. And I'm not saying that you have to say that, but you can admit that like the guy doesn't try against bad teams.
Yeah.
And Shea will play the same way against every team. And I think you have to, like, you deserve some credit for that. That's all.
And so, like I said earlier in the episode, I don't care about MVP in November, but yes, we did just spend 20 minutes talking essentially about MVP
conversation. Yeah, and he's 50, 40, 90. And the leadership that he shows, and not that Jokic doesn't show great leadership, he does. Like it's just different. Like it's
yeah. It really what it is for me is just I want to just hear people talk it out. Just like somebody other than us, just make the case for Shea, because there is a case, even this early in the season, and it just feels like on all these podcasts when they bring it up, it's just like, well, I mean, obviously it's Jokic. Oh, it's not even close. You know, I just want to hear some conversation, because it's just I feel, and this happens with other awards too, like we get so locked into an idea early in the season, and it becomes very hard to just like go back and reanalyze it.
Yeah, it's a groupthink thing. It's like, oh, Zach Lowe says it, so it must be true, kind of thing, or whatever it is. But like, it's it should be more of a conversation. There are two of the greatest players of all time in the NBA playing right now at like the peak of their powers. And there's a lot of other guys that are still active that are some of the greatest players of all time, but we have two that are at the peak of their powers right now. And we should talk about it as like a competition between the two of them. But like the NBA podcast community at large don't want to say anything bad about Jokic for whatever reason. And I'm not saying you have to say something bad, but you just have to talk about him as if Adam Mares sat on Slam and Jam last week and admitted that that's the story with Jokic, is that he will take games off for these bad teams. And no one ever penalizes him for it. No one ever talks about that.
It's a great gig. Great gig. And I mean, in his defense, he is so good, so obviously good offensively, and good in a way that we really haven't totally seen before. That shot he hit in Game 5 against the Thunder at the end. I've just never really seen a player that looks like him even think to attempt a shot like that. He is so special offensively that I do think it's easy to just kind of ignore any however minor faults there are. But when we're splitting hairs between these guys, which is how I feel it should be, we should be splitting hairs at some point. But anyways, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's November 26th. Who cares? Oh, the Ringer rankings just came out. The Thunder have, I think, 7 players in the top 100. That's good. That feels good.
Yeah, they're a great team. They're a great team.
Feels good. Everything's good. Everything's fine.
It's fine. Don't
I
worry.
want to play some of these big teams so we can actually I want to play Denver so bad.
I know. February 1st.
Hey, something nice I'll say about Denver. I was looking at the Ringer NBA rankings, and I think it's so hard to do rankings because they have Aaron Gordon ranked behind Julius Randle. And if I was trying to win a championship,
give me
I'm never
every single day.
I would have Aaron Gordon. Now, this is probably biased just from being a Thunder fan and him terrorizing us, but I would have him so high.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'd have him around 31. He's at 36 or he's at 35. But he, I just think you have to factor in Julius Randle is maybe he's a more productive player, I guess. He's a better second option than Aaron Gordon would be. But Aaron Gordon is such a better third option than Julius Randle is a second option. And you're not going to win a championship with Julius Randle as a second option. So therefore, Aaron Gordon should be ranked higher, in my opinion. But
yeah. Also, we just aren't afraid of Julius Randle at all.
I know it's another bias thing. This
Yeah.
is what happens. I used to be scared of Naz Reid, and now I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
And now I'm maybe McKelly was right when he didn't even protect him in our expansion draft.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Jared Paget 9656 said you should do another Christmas story this year. I feel like you could make how Aaron Wiggins saved basketball a good Christmas story. Okay. I like that. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. All right. Respect the cup. Thunder playing the Timberwolves tonight. We'll be back on Friday. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
We'll talk about Thanksgiving a lot on Friday. So if you're into that, tune in. It's going to be great. We'll talk to you guys again on Friday.
Until the dawn, until the dawn.